Hey everybody, welcome back to The Verdict. Today we're going to be discussing some of our personal favorite movies today, so stay tuned. Hey everybody, welcome back to The Verdict. My name is Justin, and today I'm joined by my two co-hosts, Paul and Ethan. The cast probably looks a little different today. Episode 9, you probably haven't seen us this semester, this season, but we're here for a very special occasion. It is our last couple weeks here as students at Austin Peay. How are we feeling about that?
We're feeling,
it's going, you know.
Stuff's happening and everything's moving very, very quickly at this point.
So in honor of our hoorah, so to speak, we're going to be looking just at a few of our favorite movies. Each of our flicks today feature an actor that's kind of playing against type, or they're in a film that you maybe would not expect. So I'm going to go first. My film is Logan Lucky. Let's check out the trailer.
Jimmy, I'm just gonna say it. I gotta let you go.
You were just fired.
I was let go for liability reasons involving insurance.
The one-armed bartender.
You need to show a little respect. Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know how they move the money.
The only guy who knows anything about blowing up real bank vaults is Joe Bang.
I am incarcerated.
Yeah, we got a plan to get you out.
The Coca-Cola 600 is the biggest race of the year.
We need a computer whiz.
I know everything there is to know about computers, okay? All the Twitters, I know them.
Welcome to the Coca-Cola 600.
Now, how many yards away is the vault?
20 yards. I don't know, maybe 30.
Is it 20 or is it 30? We are dealing with science here.
They're gonna know what we want them to know.
My life of crime is over.
That is massively stupid.
It's been handled.
Oh, this is gonna be good.
That looks like it hurt.
I want everything on Jimmy Logan.
I'm about to get naked. So no bacon. I said no bacon.
You Logans mustn't be as simple-minded as people say.
People say that.
Would you give me my arm, please?
Is it this one?
All right, so I chose this movie, Logan Lucky, as you saw, starring Channing Tatum, Adam Driver, and Daniel Craig. And as you can see, probably all three of them in roles that you would not have expected them to be in. I think Daniel Craig probably steals the show, but even Channing Tatum and Adam Driver coming straight off of Star Wars, as Kylo Ren. Channing Tatum, who's done a few. I think he's done like G.I. Joe. He had probably done Magic Mike at that point, so he was like a big star name, And so it's interesting to see them all pull out the West Virginia accent, and start. So what did you guys feel about this as you're watching it?
I'll let you go first.
Well, I've seen this movie. This movie is like totally fun basically from start to finish. Like you're never gonna be bored in this movie. And like you said, everybody's kind of out of their element, I feel like, as far as what kind of characters they're playing. But I mean, I feel like everybody knocks it out of the park.
I think they really pull it. I think they really, like you were talking about not being bored. I think it's because of them.
Yeah.
Like if you just took this just for the plot, for me, there's some parts where it's like, why are we talking about this right now? Why are we? There's like some pacing things sometimes that I'm a little bit confused by. but I think they steal the show because you're just so engrossed in these people, just in the way that they normally communicate. You know, Paul, how'd you feel about it?
You know, we were talking about this earlier, but you know, Steven Soderbergh.
Oh, that's right.
He's done other heist movies, like quite a lot, and so.
Yep.
I remember when this came out, I really wanted to see it because I was just coming off of Ocean's 11, just like a fringe on that, and I was like, what could he possibly do different?
And they even reference that in this movie, the Ocean 7-11, like that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Very tongue in cheek.
Yeah, and you know, he I mean, everybody murders in this entire cast.
Yep.
Like Daniel Craig, I only knew him from what is it, James Bond?
Yep. Because this was before even. What's that? The Knives Out movie.
Yes.
This was before Knives Out, so he hadn't even done that that Louisiana kind of accent.
Kind of like
so
funny roles.
Yeah, at least mainstream, he was only James Bond. Right. You know what I'm saying? And so it was funny just to hear him do that, and he's kind of done it more now. But it was really shocking for people, probably, you know, that first time. I do got to give some flowers to the two brothers, Joe Bang's brothers. For me, they eat every scene that they're in.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Like I just start laughing, like smiling every time I see them on screen. I had some quotes, you know, kind of from them. Like the one guy, they need a computer whiz, and he says, "I know the Twitters, all the Twitters. I know." Which I was thinking about that. I don't think he even does anything computer-wise. Like they get him on the team to be a computer whiz. I guess that's just a throwaway line so they could say Twitters, you know?
Probably.
And they reveal them when they're like bobbing for apples, like you know, in the thing. And Adam Driver's like, "These are the guys, you know, that we're gonna kind of go with here." I thought they were spectacular when they got to throw that bomb in the thing, and so he's like, "Pour 1 into 2, you know, and then 2 into 3, and whatever, and then it just says run, and then there's like that pause, you know, before they go. There was a lot of good humor that was not dialogue driven, like very that physical, you know, kind of comedy. Watching them react to those things, so I thought it was a great time. And we were talking about, you know, kind of characters against type. So what are your thoughts about seeing someone like Daniel Craig? Who now we've seen him as Detective Blanc, but this is like his first kind of role doing something like that.
His hair.
Yes,
like
the hair too.
So,
yeah.
You know, his laugh, just like how manic he is the entire time.
I can't even imagine coming on set and not knowing that he's going to look like that. You know, and then you see him for the first time. I would have lost it.
Yeah, it's so much. Even Channing Tatum feels like muted. You know.
Yes.
He's very quiet, reserved. And
I think about him in that movie where he's like a cop on campus. What movie? Him and like Jonah Hill, I think.
Oh yeah, 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, 21 Jump Street. Yeah. A totally different character, but it makes you forget that these people can actually act. You know what I'm saying? Like you take for granted, like, you know, what actors actually do. You know, until you see something like this where they're not, you know, what they've seen. What do you guys think about the plot of this movie, like the heist? I thought it actually worked. For most of it, I was like, okay, that's pretty clever, actually. When I watched this, I'd watched it a long time ago, and I chose this movie, and then watched it again last night. I completely forgot about the end, like the heist, like within the heist a little bit, where he cut the two brothers out, and because I was like, did he give the money back? Like when they kind of tease it, I'm like, I don't remember that happening, you know. And then I've remembered. I will ask this: there's a scene where when the smoke comes through the tube or whatever, and the security guards go to check it out, and there's that guy smoking in the like tech room or whatever, and then he helps them dig up the money later. Did we meet him any time before that?
I don't recall meeting him.
I don't think so either.
But also, I feel like if there was a character in that movie that didn't have like a big personality, you almost wouldn't remember them because everybody else
that's so true.
is like
that's the only thing that's the only part. Like, normally you like to critique the plan, you know. But most of it, I was like, this seems okay. I do love. I got to shout out this scene where he's making the bomb for the tube, and he's explaining how the gummy bears work, and he takes the chalk and he does the chemical equation on the wall, and he talks about what it yields. Hilarious, just really good.
I really love the cinematography in this movie because
yes, it looks like Ocean's 11. Like it's the same kind of deal.
It's kind of crazy just to see, you know, especially such a director like that. You know, he's gotten so many flowers, everyone loves him.
Yes.
And it's always like this question of like, all right, well, what is he going to do next? You know, what can he possibly go from here?
Yeah.
And especially, like I said, like I was like, another heist movie?
Right.
What can you possibly do? I mean,
to make those feel different. It really does speak to the mastery of writing and cinematography and making it feel different. But all in all, I think this is a fun ride. We were talking. I don't think you're going to bust a gut laughing. But I think you're going to smile the whole time.
You'll have a few giggles.
Yes,
you'll never be.
It's just clever. It's clever.
Guy from Family Guy's in it.
Yeah. So we're gonna in our custom give our rating. I'm gonna go a strong 7.5. I think. I don't know if I want to watch this regularly, but I think I could watch it every quarter. Probably.
I'll go next. I did make a joke earlier that I didn't watch this movie instead I watched Ricky Bobby. So I'm just gonna compare those two real quick. I would give Ricky Bobby, a solid 10.
Yeah.
And just off that, I would try to give this one like a 7 as well.
Yeah. Ethan, what you feeling?
I think I live in the 7 or 8 realm on this movie.
Yeah.
For me, I can't think of anything that I would do to like make this movie better, I guess, or like any changes I'll make. So I'd live pretty high up in the 7 to 8 range.
So just a fun watch. You can probably find it now. I couldn't find it anywhere to stream free, which really sucks. I shouldn't have picked that. But anyway, Paul, what we got for our next one?
So my movie is that I chose is The Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Came out in 2004, if you can believe it. Stars Jim Carrey, Kate Winslet, and Mark Ruffalo. Here's the trailer.
Hello, I'm Howard Mirziak, founder and president of Lacuna Incorporated. Why remember a destructive love affair? Here at Lacuna, we have perfected a safe, effective technique for the focused erasure of troubling memories. In a matter of hours, our patented non-surgical procedure will rid you of painful memories and allow you a new and lasting peace of mind you'd never imagined possible.
This is a hoax, right? I assure you, no. Is there any risk of brain damage?
It's on a par with a night of heavy drinking. Nothing you'll miss.
This movie, it's probably one of my favorite movies of all time, honestly. Directed by Michael Gondry, I think. I don't know. French, I don't. My mother speaks French. I don't speak French, but I know a little. But that's neither here or there. But yeah, I've stolen a lot from this movie. I really love it. I think my mother was the one that turned me onto it. She kind of didn't tell me much about it. I saw Jim Carrey was going to be in it. And I was not expecting what I got.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
What are your guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm kind of in the same boat on two fronts. One, I did catch glimpses of like, oh, Paul uses those mannerisms sometimes. Paul uses that, And then two, I didn't watch a single trailer. I didn't read a synopsis. I had never seen this before this week. And so I just went in like, let's just see kind of what's going on. And man, I was not prepared. I will say I spent the first probably 20 minutes like laser focused, like trying to figure out what's going on, but I had a fun time. I think Jim Carrey does great. We were joking that he's very muted in this role compared to like The Mask or Bruce Almighty or some of those other movies that he's in. But it creeps out every once in a while. There's a couple scenes where you get like that classic like Jim Carrey kind of manic energy, which I thought was really fun.
Yeah,
I actually haven't seen it. I've just seen a couple clips.
Cool.
But I've seen it once or twice on the YouTube Shorts movie clips. But I'm not really familiar with it. But you were explaining to me the plot. And it sounded like it might be, because I have trouble with things that are shot like out of sequence or played out of sequence. It sounded like it would be difficult for me to follow.
You would think that, but this was written by Charlie Chapman. And a lot of his films deal with dismemory and are often out of sequence, non-linear. And so he's really a master at keeping you engaged and also jumping around, but not making it feel that way. So just a basic synopsis is that Kate Winslet decides that she's going to erase Jim Carrey from her memories.
Like clinically, like go to the doctor's office and they do this procedure, kind of get to
just
make you forget that person. And so, I'm a bit sorry, I've kind of
no, it's good. No, it's good.
But then Jim Carrey decides to do the same thing essentially. He's going to erase her because he's heartbroken and all these things. And then, but while they're erasing his mind, they have to go to his house. Like he lays in his bed and they do the thing. He decides he doesn't want to do that anymore, and so it's almost like a mind hunt.
Yeah,
like he's trying to keep memories while they're trying to erase them. It's just a whole thing. I will say it was tough. I mean, I was really sometimes I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go with it. I'm kind of confused, but I think I still got it.
Yeah.
But it was fun. A lot of classic characters, I would say, who again are like either superheroes now or they do other things now. Mark Ruffalo literally makes a surprise appearance because his first time on camera, it's like a jump scare. He like literally jumps into frame and scares someone. What's her name from the original Spider-Man?
Oh yeah.
She plays Mary Jane. I can't remember
Kirsten Dunst.
Yep.
Yes.
I think so. Yep. She's in it
because I saw the trailer.
Yep. There you go. Very nice.
There it is. There it is. Yeah.
So she was a fun surprise. I thought she was really good and delightful in this movie.
Yeah. Almost every shot in this movie is a practical effect.
Yes.
So
we do need to talk about that.
There's an insane amount of there's moments where they're in an office and Jim Carrey's watching himself talk to the doctor. And then he's realizing, like, oh, this is like the procedure's actually happening.
Practical?
And Jim Carrey was saying in an interview how he was like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to, sit
in the chair
and also stand and be wearing two different outfits. And the director's like, no, we're going to do it. And to his surprise, he was able to change out of two different, like very different clothes in under like 15 seconds.
So they were quick. They were just quick changing.
Yes, they were
putting them back in.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Yeah, no cuts.
Yeah, that's wild. Yeah. I didn't even notice that while I was watching it. There's another scene too where he is now baby Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah.
Or like toddler Jim Carrey, and so he's full grown, but he's on a humongous like kitchen set.
Yeah.
Like he's full size, but he's underneath the kitchen table.
Yeah.
And so everything is. I think it's a huge set.
It is. Yeah.
He also the mom like bathes him in the kitchen sink. You know, like you do a baby. But so I guess they built this humongous like kitchen sink outline around like a swimming pool or something, and just tossed him in there. So that was really fun to watch.
And then a little spoiler at the end, they're at a beach house on a beach, obviously, and and so. While they're talking, the beach house is being torn apart. There's water coming in, and all that actually did happen on the beach, and the house really was being torn apart while that was happening. And I think it was like the most expensive shot in the movie to do all that.
Oh,
and
heck yeah,
absolutely. They were super nervous because they're like, "Is this?" We only got one shot at this.
Yeah. You mess this up, you got to build another house.
Yeah. So, probably my favorite shot is just the end shot. They're just both on like this beach, dead of winter, and
it looks freezing cold.
Oh yeah.
It looks freezing cold.
It just turns out everything just turns to white. So yeah.
Yeah, very artsy.
Imagine you forget to hit record and it's on the shot where they just tore down a house.
Oh man,
that'd be crazy.
I've been filming 3 cameras probably, but we got to roll on. So let's rate our movie. Paul, let you go first. Since
solid 10 out of 10 over here. I've seen it like at least a dozen times.
Wow.
One of my favorites. I definitely like more experimental stuff. So yeah.
This is my first experimental film. Probably. I don't think I had ever like done something like that before, so took me some getting used to. I'm probably going to go 6, but I think I would watch it again and see on the rewatch how much I'm able to like kind of perceive before. Also, give shout out to Mark Ruffalo in this movie. Him and Kristen Dunst are hilarious.
They kill.
Go ahead.
I'll give it. I mean, if Paul likes it, it must be good. So I guess I'll give it a 9 or 10 out of 10 here, just to prop him up.
Very good. So we got one last movie here to wrap up with. So Ethan's going to tell us about what he's got.
So I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite childhood movies, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, the 2004 one. Not any of that new stuff. It stars Tom Kenny, Bill Fagerbakke, and Clancy Brown as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Mr. Krabs. This movie grossed $141 million worldwide. And something I didn't know is that it came out around the same time as other big animated movies like Shrek 2, The Incredibles, and Shark Tale, I think, was also on that list.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, let's see the trailer.
Deep beneath the world's greatest ocean lives a sponge unlike any other.
Hooray! Bubble party!
For years, he enjoyed a carefree life.
Hey! Who blew this bubble?
But all that was about to change.
By tomorrow, I will rule the world!
Well, good luck with that.
My crown! Ah! Someone has stolen the royal crown! Who can stop me now?
You! Be back here with my crown in exactly 10 days. He can do it in 9, 8, 7, 6,
Patrick!
5.
Patrick, shush!
6 it is then.
Now,
What is it?
The paddy wagon. Sesame seed finish. Steel-belted pickles. And under the hood?
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
he will begin a journey to become the hero he was born to be.
Are they laughing at us?
No, Patrick. They're laughing next to us.
Hooray for SpongeBob!
Get ready
Let's get it on!
for big adventure.
Oh, boy.
How you doing?
Big trouble.
Things have gotten a lot worse since you left.
Plankton's turned everyone we know into slaves. Even Gary.
Big twists.
Oh, my gosh! Patrick, you have a mustache!
So do you!
Oh.
Big action. And big surprises when Sponge meets World.
Who are you?
I'm David Hasselhoff. For the very first time.
Hooray!
The SpongeBob SquarePants movie.
I mean, watching this trailer back, like we were all just talking about, so many memes come from this movie that you might think they're just from random episodes, but a lot of it really is from this movie. And then for me, I mean, just a bunch of childhood memories. Like my dad and I still quote random stuff in this movie to each other all the time.
Yeah. On that, I will say, I didn't realize when at the end SpongeBob makes a speech and he goes, "I know I'm out of this or that." Or some other third thing.
I use that all the
Yes,
time.
we say that in our house all the time, and I've forgotten.
Yeah.
It was just what we said.
Yeah,
at this
it's
point.
origins,
So
yeah.
when it came up, I was like, yes, there it is. Sorry to interrupt, but go ahead.
I mean, just really great writing. Like so many classics
There's so
in this
many.
movie. And then the story, honestly, is pretty good. It has some hidden themes kind of tied in there. You got growing up, accepting yourself.
It's okay to be a kid,
It's okay
right?
to be a kid.
Yep.
It's okay to be a kid. And things like that really, I think, propel it forward when you compare it to some of the newer SpongeBob media.
Here's the downer part of it. The creator actually wanted this to be the finale.
Yes.
He wanted to end the show after this.
Yeah.
But Nickelodeon was like, hey, this is kind of our mascot now, so you can either just come along.
141 million.
Yeah, we can do it without you. So you can keep doing it, or we can do it without you.
And eventually they did that, I think. I think he left out of this one. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you do look at it through the lens of being kind of the end of the SpongeBob story, I mean, I think it would tie things up very well from that lens. I mean, even not though, it's still just a fun story.
Just a
I mean,
fun
it is
movie.
absolutely
from top to bottom.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was too, like it wraps up the story. You know what I mean? I didn't feel like the way the movie goes, like there's nowhere to go. I think it's just another SpongeBob adventure, right? And like they learn a lesson and they save the town, and to me the stakes weren't big enough to warrant it being over. I mean, I would have been fine if it was either way, but I think it works even. Yeah, just in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, this movie is. I wasn't expecting to laugh as much as I did, but because this movie is so funny. My favorite part, and I was just telling you guys, is when Dennis meets those two just guys that are sitting at their gas station, and he takes and he has sunglasses, and then he takes them off just to reveal that he has more sunglasses on, and that was so funny. It was just so unexpected.
It's a good slapstick.
And it was such a good throwaway, just gag, just visually to throw in.
Those two are hilarious. The two
gas
station
attendant guys.
workers. Yeah, they roasting everybody that comes through there. They get SpongeBob and Patrick, and they get Dennis. We were talking about. I can't remember what they say. That's what gets their mouths ripped off. Because
every sequence with Dennis is really hilarious.
Yes.
I love the one where he's like, "You call that a mustache?" and then like makes a mustache grow instantly. I mean, and there's a lot of this like that classic SpongeBob humor kind of tied in, and then of course, in SpongeBob fashion, great music sequences.
Oh yeah.
You have, Now That We're Men. You know, you have Goofy Goober, the normal song, and Goofy Goober Rock.
You know, not to be a downer, I didn't hate Now That We're Men when I watched it yesterday. I was like, okay, can we just like get through this?
Wow.
I don't know. I do think it's funny that all the monsters are with him at the end, and then he insults them. You know, and he's like, "Oh, we got past all these horrible monsters." Like, they leave. Circling back to Dennis, it throws me out when he loses the sunglasses. He has like baby eyes or like puppy dog eyes or something, and it's kind of funny, but I was like, oh, all the threatening, like the threat meter just went way down.
Then he just gets taken out by the Cyclops or the diver.
And then taken out by the boat when he gets his head taken off by the boat or whatever.
And those weird live action sequences, I think, land really well.
They work. Yes, I was going to bring that up
meant
too.
to like. Because they're so far away from Bikini Bottom, like they're in the real world, so they're surrounded by it. And the animation, honestly, I think
it holds up pretty well.
It functions pretty well with like they pick up like pebbles out of the fish tank they're in, and then
I was impressed.
Spoilers, they do dry up at one point. They're put under a lamp. Such a beautiful tale of friendship.
Yes.
I mean, honestly.
What do we think about the pirates?
Pirates,
hilarious.
Man. I forgot.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was hilarious.
I thought the intro. They were fun. The intro is so random, and then also that's not the same pirate. Like Patchy the pirate, like
I think in the like on the TV
or
release, he's like in before and after the movie, like talking about it.
Yeah.
But I do think that does tie in or like bring you back because the sequence where they dry up,
and they're all
then
crying.
It cuts back to the pirates crying, and then you like brings you back in.
I did that was
recover.
That was strange that it broke almost immediately into like a fourth meta kind of thing that we're watching a movie with these pirates.
Yeah, and then it flows so well because then you immediately come from that to the animated fish beating up the live action Cyclops, and then of course David Hasselhoff cameo at the end to save the day. Really, such a crazy sequence there at the last few minutes.
It's just classic SpongeBob fun. Doesn't break away from the show. It's not so different from the show that you can't also watch the show. Animation obviously looks a little different because it's a live action, feature. But all in all, man, I'll go. If SpongeBob itself is an 8, the show, I'll go 7.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I'll live there.
Okay. When he said, well, I'll be honest, when he said if SpongeBob the show is at 8, I thought you were gonna go up.
Oh,
so,
my bad.
So when he went down, I was like, oh, okay.
I think I would rather turn on the show than watch the movie. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of parts that I really liked about this. I like how it got surreal and weird. I'm a big fan of that. Yeah. And I think probably a 7. I think that feels comfortable. Actually, no, I'm gonna give it an 8 just because it was the easiest choice.
I think I have to say 10. I mean, this movie is it sums up a lot of my humor and my childhood for me.
And worth it for the meme culture.
Worth it for the meme
just
culture.
for the memes.
Excellent.
I'm at a 10 on this for sure.
Absolutely. So that's all we got for this episode. Thanks again for watching. This is the last episode of the season.
Yes.
We're about to break for summer break. This is the last you'll see of the trio, the Three Stooges here.
I know.
So thank you all for being with us on this journey. A lot of it for us has been behind the scenes, but it's just been a real pleasure working with The Verdict with Clark and Jasmine and Rashawn, Michael and Mo and Kylan. Hopefully I got everybody. They've been awesome. They're going to carry it on. We ain't got no worries. I see them by the window back there giving us thumbs up. Yeah. That's what's up. Yep, big wave.
Yeah.
So yes, we'll catch you back in the fall. We won't.
Yeah,
we'll be watching
on
YouTube just like the rest of you. Check the comments. Maybe we'll put something in the comments.
I probably won't.
Drop in the comments.
Yeah. And we'll see this. We're working on final films as well to graduate.
3 documentaries.
Maybe they make a surprise appearance on The Verdict one day. Now you have to do it because I teased it.
Yep.
You don't have to.
This just turned into a preview for next.
It really did.
Yeah, so.
We'll have to cut a trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's so true. Didn't think about it. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, maybe not. Yeah. Okay.
But all in all, fun times. Any final thoughts you guys want to say?
I've been doing The Verdict for almost 6 years, so this is
incredible.
End
of an era.
You've been on
end of an era.
So it does feel like this is the time that I should just abandon it. Honestly, just be like, all right,
leaving it in good hands.
Don't worry, I'll be back.
Yeah.
So
I've never been on the verdict. I've helped on crew a few times, but I mean, it's a staple here at Austin Peay.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
I'm happy to take part.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be on here before I'm gone.
Yeah. Well, in that case, everybody have a good, fun, safe summer, and we'll catch you back in the fall.